Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's boardzy, and welcome to the Gaming Mouse Great Depression. This is going to be a review of the not even new anymore Steelseries Aerox 5. I literally went to Micro Center. I was like, they have to have something I haven't used yet. And lo and behold, we have the Aerox 5. I was absolutely hounded by the Micro Center employee Marina Reyes to get me to put her commission sticker on this, which is, I guess, how YouTube viewers feel when people are like pushing affiliate links or codes. Speaking of that, use code boardzy. I don't know on what, but just use it. But getting into the review, the Steelseries Aerox 5. What is there to say about this mouse? It has a lot of buttons, and it's not an absurd weight. So this weighs in the wired version at under 70 grams. And there are 5 side buttons. I put that in quotes because we have 1, 2, the normal side buttons. Then we have 3, this thumb button over here, and we're good. And now they're telling me that this concoction is 2 buttons. They call it a flick button. You can like flick it up or flick it down. But in reality, nobody is ever going to use this in-game. I mean, maybe I could see someone flicking the button up, but nobody in-game is going to be placing their thumb, like, above the mouse just to flick this button down. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. So I would say there's maybe 4 side buttons on this mouse, depending on who you ask. The thumb button is a bit high up, but where I naturally grip it, I still can hit it. So no problems with that. But yeah, other than that, this is just a pretty standard ergo mouse. Probably the best shape I have felt so far from Steelseries. Holy shit, their prime shape, in my opinion, is terrible. The Aerox 3 was terrible. And then this is the Aerox 5. They also have the Aerox 9, which has like a million buttons. Where's the Aerox 7? We have the 3, the 5, and then the 9. We skipped the 7. But regardless of naming, like I said, this is just a standard right-hand ergonomic shape, and it's pretty safe and just comfortable for relaxed style grips, whether it be claw or palm. For me, with 21 by 11 hands. So if you have super small hands, I don't know about recommending this mouse. I personally don't even know if I just like this mouse or everything else about it is just so weird that the shape and weight being somewhat normal makes me think it's a half-decent Steelseries mouse. The side buttons, I didn't even mention it before. They're super skinny and narrow, of course. So it's just not the highest quality experience. In terms of tensioning, though, I don't really have any problems with them. The main clicks are using the Steelseries version of TTC Gold switches. If you click them at the front, there's going to be a lot of post travel, but honestly, in real use, when you're just clicking them normally, you can't feel any type of quality issues. At least I can't on my copy. And I made sure to give this unit some time to see if the clicks would start to creak, and they have not. But yeah, these TTC Golds are a very light and crispy feeling click. There's a good amount of tactility, but it's still a light press, by no means heavy, and I don't have any issues with like perceived click latency. So if you have not noticed already, this mouse is wired, and this is not the stock cable it comes with. This is actually a custom cable from Lethal Gaming Gear. Well, it's not custom, they just fucking sell the cable, because the default cable, I would say, falls into the good, not great category, where it's going to have some flexibility, but it's not going to be on the same level as a paracord, but not a very stiff cable either. They also make a wireless version, I think, for $140. Both the wired and the wireless version come with the TrueMove air sensor, which is just a rebranded 3335. So $140 for that sensor is an absolute ripoff, but I really can't complain about the implementation, especially on the wired version. Just one thing to note with Steelseries is that the sensor position is very low. I generally like to have the mouse's sensor to line up with my thumb, but you can see in this case that the sensor is much lower than my thumb. So you can notice just a different tracking feeling, but honestly, after getting used to it, it's nothing that hindered my experience. But if you do feel the sensor being a bit off at first, it's most likely just the positioning being low. One thing they actually definitely got right are these stock skates. It took them a lot of tries over the years, but it seems like they've finally gotten PTFE down. You can see they have some nice thickness to them. And yeah, just a smooth glide. I can't really complain about it. It is two larger style skates, and on every pad the initial friction is low. It's a controllable glide, but it's smooth. And it does pick up texture on some more textured pads like a Hien, Lethal Gaming Gear Venus, Hayate Otsu. The list goes on. But yeah, honestly, I don't know what else to say. I don't think I spoke much on the build quality, and in general, for a 70-gram mouse, there are not many issues with the build quality. There is some slight creaking when I squeeze towards the bottom. If I really squeeze, you can notice that it's just not the highest quality plastic. But issues don't really come up until you start looking for them. When you're just using the mouse, putting a normal amount of pressure, it is fine. And yeah, there's no rattling or inconsistency in any of the buttons. So all around, the feeling of this mouse is not bad. And as much as I want to just call this a stupid SteelSeries design and just like chalk it up as another bad mouse, it's really not. It is this wired version for $80, sort of overpriced. I think this could easily be a $60 mouse, similar to something like the glorious Model I. But honestly, just this mouse compared to the Model I genuinely prefer it. That comes down to a lot of factors, but one of them is the shape. The Model I, it just does not have a natural feeling ergo shape at all, and the mouse is very crammed. As you can see, my thumb can literally touch all four of the side buttons at the same time. And if you look at the shape from the right side, you just can't really tell it's an ergo mouse. And the only thing that makes it look distinctly ergo is just this lip on the left side. But the shape itself is somewhat eggish and just weird to have with this many side buttons. Compared to the Model I, the Aerox 5 just feels like it was made for a larger hand and is just more comfortable in general. I really do wish they just prioritized two good side buttons instead of incorporating this, what is, in my opinion, useless flick button. The skinny side buttons and the iffy stock cable are really the only problems with the mouse. So if you have a larger hand and you want a 3 side button lightweight mouse, I think that this is the best one I have tried so far. Another thing to mention though is that there is no 1600 default DPI, it's 1200. I was playing on it for a day and I was like, yo, something is off, and I just don't get that. 1600 should be the universal DPI. Why was that not a default? The software is terrible in my opinion, so I just don't get it. I would rather avoid it. So yeah, that's just another thing that is annoying as well. So at the end of the day, this is probably not worth $80 for most people, but if you do want that third side button and a lightweight mouse, this just is not as bad as I was expecting, but I did not have very high hopes either. So, and that's going to be about all for my review of the SteelSeries Aerox 5. Obviously, no seal of approval. I do not see myself using this very much, but man, look at the RGB on the bottom of the mouse. That is worth a like on this video. But yeah, like I said, we are in the gaming mouse Great Depression. I'm sorry I can't spawn an XM2W or the new Pulsar mice out of thin air. I mean, those mice are just not releasing currently, so I have to go to Micro Center and like look through the scraps they have available. But yeah, that's going to be all for this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know some video ideas in the comments. I am desperate, and that's going to be all. Peace.